Comrade Khrushchev promised that we were going to build communism by 1980. My teachers told me that it was a very responsible statement, determined by personal qualities of Khrushchev, who was removed by Comrade Brezhnev in 1964. We were told that Comrade Brezhnev was leading us on the glorious path to communism, defined by great Lenin, and by the Communist Party that was also founded by Lenin. At the very beginning of the century, Lenin came to the conclusion that there was a need for a party to lead the working class in the revolution, and he became the leader of this party, the party of the Bolsheviks.
Lenin became the leader of one branch of the social democratic movement. In fact, that branch which many social democrats regarded as a deviation, as a apostasy from true Marxism. It was a blend of what you may call Marxism and anarchism of the people's will variety, which was a native movement in Russia. Why did he become the leader of it? Because he was the only intellectual Marxist in Russia who had organizational talents and this fanatical belief in his cause. He had this tremendous dedication to the cause, which nobody else had. Plekhanov said of him that he was a second-rate mind, but a first-rate organizer. And Martov, his Menshevik rival, said the same thing of him, that nobody liked him particularly. People liked much more Martov or Plekhanov and the others, but they were not followed. They followed him because he had this organizational talent and this charisma, you may say.
I remember teachers told us that Marx was writing about the proletarian revolution in the industrial capitalist countries, and Russia was mostly an agrarian country. Most of its population consisted of peasants, but Lenin proved that it was ripe for a revolution. He truly believed that the revolution was inevitable.
Well, it was not inevitable. First of all, we have to distinguish between the February Revolution and the so-called October Revolution. February Revolution was a genuine revolution. I won't say inevitable, but it was very likely for various reasons having to do with the mismanagement of the war. The October events were not a revolution, but a coup d'etat, a putsch. That not only was not inevitable, was extremely unlikely. I mean, if Lenin had been arrested, as he almost was, on his way to Smolny on that night, there would have been no coup. The whole thing would have fallen apart. Or if Lenin had not come to Russia, if Lenin had been arrested in Germany. So that was far from inevitable. It was very unlikely. But once it happened, the consequences were more or less inevitable because of Lenin's mentality and the mentality of the Bolshevik Party.
Probably the whole idea of going to Willimantic to see Lenin's statue seems strange. The Cold War is over. There is no more empire of evil. And Lenin and communism are slowly sinking into the shadows to join the ghost of the history. And maybe soon one will barely remember who the hell this Lenin was. My childhood memories appear incomplete, like pictures in an album. No beginning, no ending. When I was 10, our class joined the Pioneers organization in the Lenin's Museum in Moscow. I remember we swore to be ready to fulfill the will of great Lenin and to continue the cause of the revolution. The revolution that became true on that October night in 1917.
During the October Revolution, Lenin was in hiding because he was being sought by the police of the provisional government for his dealings with the Germans, seditious activity in time of war. But from behind the scenes, he was sending letters to the Central Committee to not delay taking power. Most of his colleagues were very hesitant about taking power. They tried it in July of 1917 and they failed badly. And they were afraid that if they moved prematurely, that the movement would be crushed. But Lenin said, no, the time is now. But he did not actually muster the forces. He did not mobilize them. He did not organize it. This was done by others. But once the coup was achieved, he appeared and he immediately took charge of the whole thing and became, I won't say undisputed dictator, because for about a year after taking power he had constant problems with his associates. But he became certainly the leader whom people followed.
That was a little place, somewhere between Massachusetts and Connecticut, where we stopped on our way to Willimantic, driven by a strange idea to see Lenin again. It was too late to go back to Boston, and it was too late to stop this flow of memories from the past. I remember our teachers telling us that after the revolution, Russia was involved in building socialism. That was